Yo, what's going on?
What's up, buddy?
Hold on, let me hit him with the intro. Hammer gang. Cause we always hit the nail on the head. All right, so check this out, my Miami Hurricane fans. If you guys are tuning in, if you guys are rewatching, basically as you can see on the screen right here, the University of Miami football group. If you guys have not already joined this group, please do so. Please go over there and join. My guy right here, Indo Gaines, that's his Facebook group. All the latest updates, anything to do with the Miami Hurricanes, you get it over there first. All right, so Cole, what's going on with you, man? How you doing tonight?
Good, man. Good. What's going on?
Good. Chilling. I know a lot of people gonna come in and they're gonna want to talk about the situation with Avante Williams. So we're just going to take a couple, not even a minute or so, to talk about this because it's a touchy situation and we don't want to go into too much details or anything like that. So for any of you guys that's having questions about that, we'll talk about it for a second or so. But like I said, this is a touchy situation. We don't want to, go too much into it. So you seen the headlines, you know, with the Avante situation, you know, what's your thoughts on it?
I don't want to really, say nothing until we know what actually happened, and we know what was reported. Again, we have to wait till things come out and see what's actually proven, and if there is, if obviously he deserves what he gets if that's what happens, and it was true and everything. But yeah, best of luck to the whole situation. Everybody, pray for everybody that's involved.
Yeah. So basically, what's public is, so far he got into an altercation with his girlfriend who's pregnant. He got arrested, and basically, at first he was suspended from the team, and now he's actually dismissed from the team. So that's all we know. I mean, there's articles out there. You guys could go read that and stuff like that, but we don't want to go into too much details. Like I said, we wasn't there. We can't just judge based on what's being written or what's being said. So until it all plays out, you know, it's a touchy subject. So for anybody that coming in and asking about the Avante situation, we don't know much. We heard what you heard. So, but as far as the Miami Hurricane thing, they have dismissed Avante at the moment. Whether or not he comes back to the team, that's undetermined. All right, so now that we get that out the way, let's get into some recruiting, man. So, and for those of you guys that are just coming in, just starting to come on in, on the screen right here, the University of Miami football group on Facebook. Make sure you go and join. If you want the latest on the Miami Hurricanes, go and join that group. Trust me, go join. All right, so positions of need 2022. If you had to pick a position today, this is the only position we're getting in this class. Which one would it be?
Corner.
Okay, so we actually got. I'm thinking two corners that's already committed, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Chris Gray and Kamari Rogers. Yep.
Who you think's going to join Chris Graves and Kamari?
Who do I think? I feel pretty good about Traquan Fegans.
Mm-hmm.
And then that last, if we take four, which I think we will, it depends just on who. They're going to keep swinging for Singletary, but I could see Henderson, the Henderson twins joining in, and there's other people out there. But
Yeah. What? Okay. Let's say we bait the hook, throw it out in the water. What's the percentage chance that we catch a Wilson? In your opinion?
you mean he's a safety, but
Yeah.
we have a chance. I think honestly, it's probably probably LSU, Miami. Obviously, LSU, Miami, Georgia, and Florida. But I honestly think it's more not Florida. Alabama, but I still feel there's a good chance. I mean, ultimately, he really likes T-Rob. I mean, he's liked T-Rob for the years, ever since he started recruiting him at South Carolina. So I'm not counting T-Rob out anytime soon.
Yeah, I wouldn't count him out either. I mean, dude just put a cornerback into the league, pick number 8, the Panthers out of South Carolina. What's his name? J.C. Horn?
J.C. Horn, yeah. He was a 3-star recruit coming out of high school. I think he was like number 40-something corner in the class. He was picked over 5-star. We know very well. Surtain, that was, the number 1 corner in the class that went to Alabama. So, I mean, if the trend continues, it sounds like there's some potential this year. If it were to happen where Zion Nelson gets picked as the first offensive lineman this year, like some people are projecting him, he would be the number 114th tackle in that class, being picked over number 1 tackle, which was Evan Neal. We recruited back whenever he was at IMG and Rick was here. So that would be 2 years in a row. We took a 3-star and got him bumped right over the number 1 in their class, number 1 at their position in their class.
All right, so we got a $10 donation here from Chuck Mo Beers. Say, what up, T2Y? Keep up the great work. Smash the like button. Fam, let's go Canes, 100-100. So appreciate that, Chuck Mo Beer. That's a touchdown for the channel. I got something new for you guys when the donos come in. So appreciate that, Chuck Mo Beer, and this one's for you.
Yeah, keep that short. You don't get demonetized.
Yeah, if you play on T-Bone.
I mean, Trick Daddy's come on his money, or somebody will. I don't remember who. Miami boys out there. Anyway, you want to pull up what you looked at the other day on your little clip, and I can kind of explain to you what you got wrong.
Okay, let me go to. Let me pull up the other screen. There we go. So. Right now I'm looking at commits.
Yep.
Appreciate that, Chuck No Beer. Let me get that off the screen real quick. So the commits so far, we got 5 hard commits.
Yep.
Everybody's already seen Kamari Rogers, Corey Brown, Chris Graves, London, and
Marietta.
And you could go ahead and take that last one.
Flip Carswell.
Say that again?
It's Valencia Carswell, but it's Flip Carswell. Easy enough.
Oh, so Valencia.
Yeah, Valencia.
Valencia. I'm gonna come back to this show later on and remember saying that next time I mention his name, because I just went straight to the last name. I was like,
Flip Carswell. Which is a big commit we got since you put out your video. I was actually on Miami Flow's channel a few days ago, and I kind of hinted somebody was coming, and I didn't really want to say that's the guy. He's good. There's actually more. There's obviously more good news coming over the next few days too. So.
All right, so
go to your crystal balls. I want to explain to you what you.
Hold on, let me go to prospects. I'm gonna save that for a little second. I gotta Google.
Okay, you're good.
All right, so prospects.
Where is the crackhead? What the heck's
happening? I want to see your thoughts on these prospects. We'll start at the top. So they're saying top 20 24. So Shamar Stewart.
Yeah, top target list. It's not been updated, but it's pretty close.
Okay, so Shamar Stewart, what's your take on him? Chances of Miami landing him?
Very, very good chances. I honestly think he's going to end up a Cane. Obviously anything can happen. I mean, it's a long time until signing day. I'm one of those people who actually I'll wait until they sign to say that they're a done deal, but feel pretty good about Shamar. Yeah,
I've seen some photos and videos of him on some sideline wearing Canes gear and stuff like that. Might be a little, not too much, but little significant stuff like that. Because that don't mean much, but coming to Miami 5 times in 1 month does. Yeah, and
Pretty much he's
I
a number
remember,
one. So
because I remember last year when Leonard Taylor was, working out in his garage and stuff, had on the hurricane gear. Everybody was like, "Nah, let's not jump the gun. It might be a troll job and stuff like that." So I don't know. Hopefully, it's the same situation.
I don't think that kind of stuff's a troll job. A troll job typically. I just people who follow recruiting way more than these kids do, man. Like
Yeah.
they just put clothes on that are given to them by people that are recruiting them usually. So it's whatever.
Yeah, that's what I've been telling a lot of the fans too. Like these kids are gonna go places. They're gonna put on gear. They're gonna be given so much stuff. So they're gonna wear them. You're gonna see them out there. I mean, Nick, for instance, we saw him made a video about his commitment, and he had on a Gator shirt, stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they go to different schools. They get different gear. So you take that stuff lightly. But we're gonna move on from Shamar Stewart. You got Kamari Wilson. From a scale of to 100, what's your percentage on?
I'm not no percentage guy. I'll just tell you if I feel good or not, man. Like I said, I think it's probably going to come down to LSU, Miami, Florida, and Georgia for him. I'm not counting T-Rob out. I mean, especially now with the news of what happened. I mean, he has a chance now of coming in and actually competing. So, and doesn't have to worry about. I mean, obviously he has to compete. He may have to sit behind somebody, but he's a kind of type of talent that he probably won't have to sit. He can come in and within, his red shirt freshman year come in and be ready to start. So, big kid. I mean, he's already big enough now. I mean, he already looks like he's an NFL-sized body already. So, yeah.
All right. So another one that's, I think a lot of people have been pushing him more towards Texas A&M, but you got Bear Alexander, defensive lineman.
Where's a orange Miami jersey? That's funny. You don't got to listen to me. I'm just some random dude. You don't got to listen to me at all.
What happened? Wait, what happened?
Somebody said never listen to a guy wearing an orange Miami jersey talking about football or whatever. So whatever.
Oh, that's a Florida State fan. They don't know no better.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
Oh man, we got Hurricane Speed Jr. with the $10 donation. Say what up, T2Y. Hope this is a great year. Surprise everybody. Yeah, if we can beat Alabama, that'll be the biggest surprise. I mean, in a decade, really. But hey, appreciate the $10 donation. That's a touchdown for the channel. I got this one for Oh man, I don't know why the internet acting slow. I think it's because my kids, they're streaming a movie upstairs. So you guys, be. Oh, and for the guy that just talked trash to Cole,
shut your stupid ass up.
You ain't right, bro.
Oh man. All right, so back to the list here. Appreciate that Hurricane Speed. So you got back to Bear Alexander. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts. It's probably going to end up at Texas A&M. I mean, he's good. He's probably a nose, one tackle, one tech or whatever. I like him. There's somebody I like way more than him, a defensive tackle. No offense, he's a great talent, big time player. But there's a kid that's ranked quite a bit lower than him. I would take over him 10 out of 10 times. So I think he's going to take A&M anyway. So.
Are you talking about Lions?
No.
Oh, okay. Are we moving away from Lions?
No, we're going to still recruit Lions.
Oh, okay. Now, I mean for you.
What do you mean?
Are you, like you said, remember, I think a couple months back, you was like, check out Lions tape. He looked pretty good, and I was like, yeah. But I'm saying, are you moving on from him now? Have you seen any better prospects?
Oh, there's better. Yeah, there's better kids. I'm still taking Lions if he wants in, because we're going to take at least two defensive tackles in this class. So yeah, I would take Daniel Lyons for sure. But there's somebody I would take over him as a 3-tech. So.
All right, so you got your guy here, Marvin Jones Jr., the controversial, throwing down the U. Now, the difference between his photo and, Wesley's, I'm sorry, his was a big old cheesy smile. And what's your take on them? Do you feel like Miami's a fit for him, or is that ship's sailed?
I think Miami's a perfect fit for him. Like, I know obviously he's going to do whatever. I mean, he's a kid. He's impressionable. FSU staff's been pushing kids from South Florida to do that kind of goofy shit. Goofy stuff. But anyway, whatever. Honestly, I think if he wants to be coached by a coach that can develop him and play in a scheme that's going to show his strengths, Miami's probably the perfect fit for him. I mean, there's only a few teams out there. If you're a rushing defensive end, there's not many out there I would pick over Miami, honestly. I mean, Miami's had a defensive end get at least 8 sacks a year, every year since Manny's been here. I mean, every year everybody's like, oh, what are we going to do on defensive line? Every year somebody's big steps up and shows out and does something again. Ever since Manny got here, we've had a defensive end drafted every year. Last 2 years we've had the last year we had 2 guys in the first round. And 3 taken in the draft. I think it's a perfect fit. I mean, honestly, I would he's talked really highly about Jeff Simpson because he knows how good of a coach he is. I mean, there's not many people who can say they were a defensive line coach in the NFL. I mean, last year, you know what I'm saying? He was one of just a few people in that was a defensive line coach. So, yeah.
Okay, so before we go on to the next guy, guys, if you guys are just coming in, Facebook page. Oh, let me get it off the screen. Yeah. So Facebook page, the University of Miami football group. Make sure you guys go and join this group. Like I said, all the latest information is on there. It's ran by my guy here, Cole Perry, Indo Gaines. Trust me, you want to be on this group. Okay, so we got a commitment out of Kamari Rogers, so we'll move on to Skinner. What's your take on him? Because I'm leaning more towards Florida State because it's always been his dream school that he said. But what's your thoughts?
Honestly, anybody that Miami wants, I hope if they don't commit to Miami, they commit to Florida State. Because
why is that?
Because I know if they commit to Florida State and they haven't taken an official visit, it's going to be on the Miami Hurricanes versus Florida State week, and we beat them 77-10. Miami will do what they did the last time we had this happen and went up there and took Jalen Harrell, went up there and took Jalen Knighton. We will do it again. We will get the guys we want. Probably not Hunter. I mean, I get it. He's going to stick with Florida State. I feel very good about that. If he doesn't, it'd be because Bama come in and, they had a terrible year. But I wouldn't count out Coach Fields with Jaleel Skinner either way. So, if he's picking right now, he's probably picking Florida State. But, again, 77-10 this year. It's my guess. Man, he's not going to pull the dogs off like he did last year in the third quarter. I've been pretty open to that. I mean, go ahead and screenshot it, video, record it, whatever. If we don't do that, that's fine. I'll take the heat, but that's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm sticking to that. So.
Yeah, I hope, man. If Manny turned off the dogs, man, I'm gonna be mad. Because
the problem is, whatever. If he turns off the dogs, what's he gonna do? Put Nick Garcia in, and put in Rashard Smith and Romello Brinson.
That's gonna be like when we blowed out Notre Dame and Jim Johnson was like, "Well, I took my starters out, and it ain't my fault that my secondary third guys was just like the starters." So it is what it is. Now you got next on here a guy that's been crystal ball a lot to Miami. You got Traquan Fegan.
You just can't remember Kenyatta Jackson, which is fine because he's not coming to Miami.
Who?
Kenyatta Jackson, you skipped over him, but he's not coming to Miami anyway. So
yeah, I heard some stuff, so I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got Fegan's A lot of crystal balls coming in on him. You think it's a done deal, or
I
what's
mean,
your take?
nothing's ever done deal until they're on campus. But I feel very good about Trayvon Fegans, and
Yeah,
I think we could hear something very soon.
yeah, I like him a lot. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, you got Hurricane Zoe in the chat. What up, Zoe? CJ Canes 87. What's going on, man? How you doing? FSU Rose. What's up, boss? We got quite a few people. If I didn't get to you guys, I'm sorry. Trying to get through this with my guy here while I still have him on. Don't want to keep him on too late. Bergie, what's going on? Malik, what's up? How y'all doing? Everybody in the chat, what's up? So
Hit the like button.
yeah, make sure you hit that like button, share the channel, and make sure you go over to the Facebook page and join the page. Trust me, join the page. All right, so Fegans. Confident, high, low.
Fegans,
Yeah,
I'm very confident, and we'll hear something pretty soon.
yeah, definitely. Controversial guy here a little bit. Nigel Kelly, he was committed to Florida State, then he decommitted. And then I think right after he decommitted, he was already in Miami, taking visits and stuff like that. So it's always a good look when they decommit from Florida State and then come straight to Miami. So Nigel Kelly, how percentage wise, how do we get him to become a Cane? It's like
I ain't doing percentages.
hold on.
I'll say this: I am very confident that he's going to be a Cane more than he would be a Knoll.
Okay, perfect. Anthony Lucas.
Anthony Lucas. That's the guy that I said I would pick over Bear Alexander any day of the week.
Okay. So
I think Anthony Lucas is going to end up before his senior season being exactly like Leonard Taylor and probably being a 5-star, if not a top 10 player in the class before it's over with.
all right.
I feel very good about him. He's actually he's a Haitian. He hit it off really well with Miami's coaches when he was down there. His father, who didn't play football, went to Miami as just a student. Obviously right now he's not, there's no way to say he's coming to Miami, but if Miami puts what they think they're going to on the field this year, feel pretty good about him.
Okay, so he got some roots in Miami.
Yep.
All right, so a guy that we definitely know got some roots in Miami, Earl Little Jr. What's your take on him? Is he too far gone? Is he Alabama, as everybody's been saying?
Well, we don't know yet. I know everybody's been saying Alabama. Alabama likely has one cornerback spot left, and they have probably potentially two guys ahead of him, in Jackson and Paris. So I don't know yet. Does Bama typically miss on their, two of their top targets at the same position to get to their third target? He may not be third in line on their board, but he's probably right in the mix of it. So if somebody else commits before him, he may not have a spot potentially.
Okay. And a guy that we was heavily on, I'm probably still heavily going after, Amarella.
Miami
Am I
has
saying that?
have a kid. That's funny.
What he said?
He said Miami has no shot at the Kelly kid. That's funny when he's been to Miami and he's going to be in Miami in a couple of days.
This the channel's troll. He troll every single Miami Hurricane channel. That's Mr. Juxtapose. Mr. Juxtapose.
Shut your stupid ass up.
Yeah, that's all he does is go around and troll Miami channels. No,
that's fine. It's funny when guys troll because that just gets you honestly more monetization because it shows you get more engagement on your channel. So every time he trolls, that's like a penny or two in your pocket. So
yeah, he's good for business, but he just talks stupid.
Let him talk stupid. Stupid pays the bills.
Yeah. All right. So back to this guy here. What's your take on him, man? Are we hot? Are we cold?
Miami's going to be in it till the end. I mean, I think he has probably a little bit of split family opinion, but he's another one of those guys. If Miami puts it on the field this year, Miami's going to be in it.
Yeah. No, let's say Miami land this guy because he's one of those guys that they say probably could come in and make an impact right away. Do you see that happening with a guy like him?
Potentially at guard.
Okay. All right. So Jaden Gibson. I've been hearing things maybe leaning towards Florida.
Yeah, probably. Probably, but it's kind of the same situation as Little. I mean, he probably wants to go to Florida. His daddy went to Florida, but they really only have one spot left, and they also want Stewart from Texas. And I mean, really, they've already got 2 receivers committed. Now, I could say this: if Isaiah Bond decides not to go to Florida, then that would pretty much seal him going to Florida. But right now, I believe they have somebody ahead of him.
Okay. And Wesley
Basane.
What's the deal?
He got in his truck, drove down to Miami after the coaches did some goofy crap again to apologize and get it figured out with the coaches before he hurt.
Wait. We talking about FS Cool, right?
Yeah.
FS Cool. Okay.
I feel very good about him ending up in Miami. If he doesn't, he's not going to FSU. He'll be in the SEC.
Okay. So you could throw Florida State out the window. Yeah, they probably messed up their chance and trying to ruin that kid's recruitment like that. All right, so what's your take on this guy, Williams? So,
Markeith, I mean, it's a situation where, Miami's probably only going to take 1 safety, maybe 2. Really like a mixture of probably 1 safety, 1 striker, or 2 safeties, or, something that kind of mixture of that situation there. He hasn't came to Miami yet. He was supposed to come. He pushed his official visit back. I think he's had a little family situation go down, and he wasn't able to make it. So, yeah.
That's all you need to do not.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the next guy here, with Isaiah, wide receiver. We've been getting some crystal balls for him. Confidence on Miami getting him.
28.
So if it was said tomorrow, signing day, you think this guy put name on ink?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, because I like him. I checked out his tape or whatever. I think he's a good fit. We got a great class when it comes to wide receivers last year. I think he'll be a nice fit to that. But hopefully he does sign because, like I said, that's a nice prospect to come on in. Now,
I think it's funny when people are saying this guy, this guy saying over here, because I tell you straight up, the guys that I don't think Miami's going to get, like I know, I mean, there's a reason. Yeah, I'm not going to say some stuff that I want to say, but no, we're good.
Ooh, Mr. Juxtapose.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, he is just a clown, Mr. Juxtapose.
Shut your stupid ass up.
All right, so I'm gonna let you get that.
Malik Agbo.
Okay, so
it's probably going to come down to Miami in Oklahoma, maybe LSU. We're in it. I mean, I think he has a really good relationship with Garcia. So I know Drew was pushing for him pretty strong. So
Go.
Okay. So he could be a good fit for the offensive line. I mean, we got a lot of experience right now, so I think.
yeah, but we're probably gonna have 3, maybe 4 not come back. So
Yeah. How many offensive line do you think we should take this class?
it depends on the talent level. So we have Flinty Carswell. I like him at left tackle. The next guy coming down here, Jacob Hood, who I prefer to get at right tackle. We'll see if he ends up here. But I'd probably take Agbo as the inside offensive lineman and then shoot for Armella. So I'd say 3 to 4.
Okay. So Hood would be a good fit too, but I wanna skip over Hood real quick and go straight to Daltrey Richardson because from what I'll be hearing, it's down to either Miami or Florida State. What's your take?
Miami, Florida State, and Kentucky. I think he'll probably commit to Florida State, but he's not going to stop. He's not going to shut his recruitment down. He's going to stay being recruited, and I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't end up at Kentucky.
Okay. All right. So
he may end up at Florida State. I mean, honestly, I mean, Florida State has probably the biggest need of offensive line of probably pretty much any Power 5 team. So if he wants to play early, and that really comes down to it, he may pick there.
All right. And last on the list, we talked about Daniels a little bit already. Any of these guys on the high choice list that you think?
Yeah, scroll down through them slowly, and I'll tell you if I see somebody. So Devin Jackson. So I know he's probably between Arizona State, Oklahoma, and Miami. I think Oklahoma may not take another linebacker, so he may not, until close to signing day at the end. If they miss a few more people on some other positions, they may take a third. But that's potential. Keep going.
What about this guy, DJ Wesley?
DJ Westlake, Westlake now, where he hasn't come to Miami. He had to come to Miami for I feel any kind of good about it. So,
this guy here in the maybe around in the February-ish, his name was being mentioned a lot. What's your take on him?
He came for Miami staff. They were looking at him potentially at weak side linebacker. They saw him in person and they thought maybe he's striker. And then once they worked him out, I don't know. I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna go in a different direction.
Okay. And you got here, Nick.
I think I kind of said on the group that there was somebody that was iffy on my projection. People that could be committed, and I said he was probably the one I was most iffy about. He was supposed to announce early in the month, and he pushed it back to the 30th. I just don't think he has a spot yet at many places. I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I think he's a good player, though. By the way, I mean, so he plays pretty close to where I grew up in Southwest Georgia, and good player. They don't play very tough competition, but he's a good player. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking him, but I just don't think Miami's ready to do that right now.
All right, so I'm gonna skip over that one and come back to it. Justin Medlock.
Tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. All right. Caesar Kane.
I feel pretty good about it.
All right, so it might be a commitment tomorrow, guys. But take it with a grain of salt. Kids do crazy stuff.
Plans can change anytime.
All right, so we got the twins. Damari, Jakari. What's your take on those guys?
I would take them. Especially if we can land a surefire like Kamari Wilson at safety, I would take both of them today. We really only probably need to take one safety, but if we knew we could get a high level, sure enough starter and let those two guys develop, I would take them in a heartbeat.
Okay. All right. So a name that got a little buzz and made his visit to Miami already. Nathan Nelson. He was supposed to make his commitment this month. Wasn't it pushed back, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, he was supposed to announce on the 4th.
Where do you think Miami stands with him?
I think he ends up at a state school. He's got a twin brother, so I don't know how, Miami's tuition is ridiculous. And unless you're pretty much a genius, you can't get academic scholarship in Miami. So I would probably say he ends up at Florida if they take him. If not, UCF.
All right, so this guy here, Isaiah, I seen, I think today, if I'm not mistaken, that he got an offer recently from the University of Miami.
I think Miami's going to want to bring him and that next guy that's committed to Pitt. They're going to probably want to bring them two in and see them in person. But those are two guys they just offered.
You thinking a flip for Durant?
Say again?
Are you thinking Durant right now? Are you thinking he's flippable?
Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. Yeah, I'm not going to give up on Durant.
Okay. All right. I'll keep strolling. You tell me when. I think. Well, that's it.
The only thing would be Austin Tarver. I think Miami will look at him. Goes to Deerfield Beach. Big guy, one tech. He's probably the only other one on that list.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So let me bring up this so you can tell me more about it, because I obviously don't know what I'm talking about.
So, I like. So, by the way, they're talking about the 2023 quarterback that FSU got committed, Parsons. He's a good player. I like him. I mean, you guys take commits early. We see if he sticks or not. I mean, y'all had the 5-star committed last year this time. Like quarterback, and now he's a 3-star and doesn't play any. Isn't committed. But I'll just say this: he's a good player. If y'all hang on to him, he'll be good for you if you have an offensive line protected.
All right, so
the way this reads, by the way, you can't say 94% or whatever. So that's not how it works. If you look at the confidence score over there, that's more for how they feel about the recruit. Those percentages you see is how accurate they are this year, and as picking their crystal balls.
Okay, so basically, this confident thing. What's the highest?
10, but it's very rare. Most people, when it turns yellow, that means they're pretty confident. That's an 8 or 9. That's whenever they feel pretty good about it. 6 means they're like, yeah, we think you're the guy, you're the team right now. And then like a 1 or something usually means they picked another, they picked the school and they don't think that school's in it anymore, so they drop their confidence down to 1.
Okay, so this is basically a ratings from 1 through 10.
Yes.
Like confident level is on 6, so basically. Like right here, it's confident levels on 5, so it's 50-50 and could.
So basically, the way I would look at that is they believe that there's a 60% chance he ends up at FSU and a 40% chance he ends up elsewhere.
Okay. So they are, crystal balling him to FSU. So we see 2 crystal balls there already. And of course, we got the commit already from him. So Isaiah Horton. Okay. See, I'll be messing up everybody. David Lakes, from Miami Insider, he got the crystal ball. So the 5 for 5, and the 100%.
He's not missed a single crystal ball I put in this year. That's what that means.
Okay, so basically, when David Lakes, for everybody that watching and learning, just like I am right now. David Lakes made 5 predictions, and he's been 5 for 5. So he's been correct on every prediction that he's made. Andre Ivins, basically 32 predictions out of 34. So he's nearly perfect on his predictions. Yeah. So when these guys basically make their prediction, their crystal balls, 9 times out of 10, you can run with it. But David Lakes, that number's kind of low, so I'd more likely go with Andre.
Well, so Andrew got moved to a regional national role, so that's why he puts the balls for pretty much every team. David Lake only puts them in for Miami, typically. So
Okay, so that explains the lower numbers then. See, I'm learning. All right, so mid Justin Midlock, like you said, we pretty much in there.
FSU can do better all they want in June and July. Whenever it comes to signing day, it's whenever you can get signed or not. That's like, again, recruiting right now. Kids are taking and putting themselves in a position to get a spot on a team. FSU is probably one of the easiest teams to get a spot if you're any good, because they don't have any talent right now. That's why everybody's picking them to only win 3 or 4 games. So any good recruit that wants to come in and play for a team that's got a good brand, y'all do have a good brand, they're going to commit there. Now, can you win enough games or show enough on the field to keep them? That's what we got to see. It's the same thing Miami did when Al Golden was here.
Now, 863 Seminole TV. Didn't y'all just have a June cook-off? But we talking about recruiting in July. Didn't y'all just have a June cook-off?
June bake-off, boys. We already know.
Stop it. Yeah, crystal ball. So we're back to
They like to troll your channel a lot, don't they? It's kind of funny.
Oh, trust me, they love it. They love it. I got fans from Georgia, from Clemson, from all over, because I do a lot of trolling. So naturally, they come over here to troll me. But
that's fine.
That's pretty much how I kind of set myself apart from the other channels, from the other Hurricane channels. I try not to be just Hurricanes. I try to troll other teams too. Yeah. So Florida State will get a foot in their ass every time they mess up from me. All right, so Devin Jackson.
Well, so you jumped over a pretty significant one. So Traquan Fegans got a crystal ball from the South Carolina Insider, and the reason why that's a big deal is because everybody thought that South Carolina was Miami's biggest competition for him after Bama pretty much has 2 other corners committed and they only take 1 more.
Okay, so that this crystal ball might means more than the actual Miami Insiders, because this is one of our biggest rivals when it comes to him, getting him.
So this is another thing. FSU fans are so dense, man. We're talking about last year when it was a COVID year. And, yes, we did not have a single player that was committed besides Hammett that did not sign with Miami. And that was because nobody could take visits. Now, we could have potentially lost somebody, but we did do a pretty good job of putting it on the field, 52-10. But, we did lose a few games at the end of the year. We didn't have a quarterback get hurt. But, say what you want. Everybody who committed to Miami last year signed. That's not going to happen with you guys. And right now, you guys honestly have a lot of mid players. I mean, Hunter's great. McCall's not going to stay committed to Florida State. And then after that, there's a bunch of mid. I mean, typically any offensive lineman outside of a very few percentage, like 1%, are surefire going to make it in our team. So you guys have 4 or 5 offensive line commits. Probably 2 of those may actually end up playing. So.
Yeah, keep in mind, FSU fans, you guys been terrible for the past 3 years or so. So a lot of the kids that you got from Fire and Willie Taggart, they transferred out. A lot of the kids that jumped off board when you went 3-6 last year. So you got so much space and opportunity to offer these kids some play time that a lot of them will commit right away anyway. But once you lose and go 3-9 this season, then you'll see a lot of those kids jump shift. So keep that in mind, Mr. 3-9. Anyways, Fegans, we're just on Fegans, so we're going to Devin Jackson.
We'll see where McCall ends up.
McCall already shut down his recruitment. Well, nobody cares. He was a Gator, now he's a FSU. Who's next? The UCF Knights?
Or South Carolina, where his uncle works.
He'll be working for Quan Lee pretty soon. Okay, so you got Devin Jackson being crystal ball over to Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's probably going to have. You're probably going to see those confidence scores drop until they decide they're going to take a 3rd linebacker.
Okay, and Isaiah, are you? Do you know when he's supposed to make his commitment?
Next Friday, the 28th.
Okay, so on the 28th, you know what time? I mean, normally they announce it on Twitter and all that.
Yeah, it's like I don't think he has a time set yet. I know tomorrow is 12 o'clock.
Okay,
For Medlock. So
yeah, because normally what I do is whenever they post a time and they start their live shows, whether it's CBS or whatever, I'll kind of screen record it. And if it's Miami, then I'll talk about it. If it's the other school, good luck. See you later.
Yeah. I don't hate on any kid that goes anywhere, because that means they've actually got to a point they can play football, get education playing football. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, anybody that tuned into me, they know that's how I am too. Hey, good luck. You didn't pick Miami, but hey, good luck wherever you are. Sayonara. After that, it's like once they sign to other schools, I unfollow them on Twitter, unfollow them on Instagram and stuff like that, because I want to make time for the kids that we're going after. You know what I mean? So I don't want to see a bunch of their posts when I could be seeing the kids that we're actually going after.
I'll say this one thing here, TTY. If that guy right there, Steve Wilfall, puts in a crystal ball and it's 7 or higher, he's probably going to commit to the school. But again, committing does not mean they've signed. So.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at the amount of crystal ball that he's put in with the percentage-wise, that's a lot of crystal ball, and he's right 97% of the time. Damn, I'm glad you taught me this. Because I was looking at this thing.
You don't know how to read it, but
I was looking at this thing so wrong. So Steve, he's director of football recruiting. So he's pretty much
the top dog in the country.
Yeah, he's the one with the big kahunas. All right, so I'll definitely look at his crystal balls and take them a lot more seriously. And of course, Gabby, 10 out of 11 crystal ball to the Hurricanes.
And the one is Quan Lee that I think that he doesn't have because he flipped, or no, I guess he decommitted. Yeah, he committed to UCF, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He didn't make a commitment yet.
Yeah.
Quan Lee. I don't think.
Do I think we're winning the ACC title this year? No, you're not.
Who is he asking? What did he say?
He asked, do we honestly think we're winning the ACC title this year? I don't think we're winning the ACC title this year, no.
The only way we I think we could compete with Clemson, but I do give Clemson a little bit higher chance of beating us. But we definitely can make the ACC championship.
You said, do I think we are going to beat them? I don't think that. Can it happen? Yeah, it can happen. I think we could beat Alabama. That doesn't mean that we are going to. That we're not. I'm not going to say we're going to, because they got to show me. That's where I'm at. Just like Florida State's got to show me they can win 4 games.
Okay. All right. So Medlock and Hart and Isaiah, you could probably pretty much say, based on these crystal ball, that Miami is definitely a team that we should see that get the commitment. If not, then something crazy may have happened. All right, so we got some Gator commitment, crystal ball here from JC out of South Carolina. He's at 83% right now. So he also got another guy here, Jamari Lyons for the Gators. Jamari Lyons, I haven't heard too much about, but Jordan Gibbons. Do you think the Gators stick or
Jaden Gibson?
Jaden. What I say, Jordan?
You said Jordan. I don't know what you said.
Okay, Jaden Gibson. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind.
I mean, we talked about him earlier. Like, I mean, I think it's probably going to be Florida if they have a spot for him, but we'll see. If not, I feel good about Miami. I think Miami's second right now.
Okay, so how many receivers do you think Miami is actually going to take in this class, though?
Probably 2 or 3, depending on who they are.
God dang it, 863 similar. Why you want to bring up the past? Said T2Y said Miami will beat Clemson 42-24 last year. Don't believe the hype. God dang it. Leave me alone. Anyway, crystal balls for Florida State with Skinner.
Yeah, Collins scored 3 from Bud Elliott, which is probably, yeah.
I don't know how confident.
Honestly, I'm okay if he can miss the again. If somebody that Miami wants can miss the Florida State, I'm not worried because I know what Miami's going to do to them this year.
What'd you say the score prediction was again?
77-10.
77-10.
We beat them.
We back. Florida State is back, and we're gonna show that Saturday.
Oh man.
We beat them 27. We beat them 27-10, 52-10, and now we're going 77-10 for years.
See, in one of my last video, I said 62-10, but I'll take 72.
77-10.
Somebody, FSU fan, when we beat y'all, I know y'all gonna be in Tallahassee, so can I get? Nah,
We won't be there, but about till halftime.
I was gonna say, can I get a show of hands of how many of y'all gonna cry in the car? But they ain't gonna tell on themselves. All right, so Nelson, crystal balls are going towards Florida. This is from Blake.
Well, we would have put 70 points on Florida State last year if Manny didn't pull the dogs off in the third quarter. We scored 35 in the first half.
The best part of that,
every time we had the ball, we scored.
The best part of that is I was in the building right above the end zone. So when them touchdowns was coming in, I was going crazy. And on top of that, I had a Florida State fan that came to the game with me. So that was even more fun. And I kept having a lot of Miami fans just coming up to him, just trolling the crap out of him. Like, man, that thing was so fun. I know definitely I'm not going to Tallahassee, though. As much as I troll them, I'm not going up there for my safety.
I'm so glad these Florida State fans troll though, because man, I keep counting pennies. Going in your bank the whole time they keep commenting with this goofy stuff.
Man, I tell them a lot too. They be like, "Oh, T2Y, you might as well change your name to Seminole T2Y." And this, I'm like, listen, Florida State is a lucrative business. Right now, you guys have a huge fan base online, so I'm gonna troll the crap out of y'all, especially because y'all are a rivalry. So me talking about y'all is relevant. Now, if
you know what's really funny is when they troll and it backfires. Like old dude here, put money, y'all don't get 60 points, son kiss. So that means you think we're going to get at least 55 or 58 points already. So you've already put yourself in this bad situation because you already know we're going to put at least that on you.
And I told them a lot.
At least 50 burgers.
I tell them a lot. It's like I pick on them more. I can't really pick on the Gators as much because we hardly ever play them. But when we do, and when they do something stupid like Dan Mullen, he can't control himself in those press conferences.
Miami will put 50 points on several teams this year. We're not going to embarrass teams that we have respect for. We don't respect Florida State anymore.
Yeah, all right, so back to this thing, man. So crystal ball is coming from the Florida State insider, Josh Newberg. He's predicted Miami back on the 11th. He's predicted Miami also for Wesley back on the 11th. So, what's your trust in Josh? Do you have any trust in his crystal balls? I mean, he's 17.
I know people talk about us troll, whatever. Look, Newberg this is his livelihood. I'm not up on the whole. We think that people put in fake crystal balls. He really thinks that's Miami's team to beat right now. Do I think a 7 score for right now for Shamar Stewart? Probably not. But he honestly feels Miami's a school to beat right now because we are. I mean, so.
Like I told him, man, it's paradise. Y'all better believe it. It's paradise. I mean, would you want to come down to paradise, nice, beautiful beach, or you want to go up to Tallahassee, nice trailer park? But what else we got? We seen the crystal ball.
We don't got to look at them anymore. We pretty much know everybody. We talked about it, but
yeah, pretty much. All right, so for defensive end, because a lot of guys been asking about this position. Prospects, who would you want to fill that position, and how many defensive ends should we take this class?
2 to 3.
And if you had to get 2 to 3, who would they be?
Nigel Kelly and Shamar Stewart, and then that would be my top 2 picks. I doubt we'd get all 3, but if we could get Marvin Jones Jr. too, I would prefer him as a third. It's probably not going to happen. I don't think we get but maybe 1 to 2 of those guys. Outside of that, Miami's may look at somebody to take, but they're not going to take more than 2 unless it's 3 really good guys that they want.
And the controversial position, linebackers.
We got one committing tomorrow. I feel very good about it. Medlock. He'll play Mike, and then Wesley Basante on the weak side. And we only have 2 linebackers, so they'll probably take those 2 if they can get them.
All right,
If they can get Devin Jackson, they'll take him as a third. They can flip DeMario Tolan from LSU.
All right, so we're really going to talk about safety position, but you know what happened with Avante. How many safeties do you think we take this class? And you know who would they be? Did you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Yeah, my girls. Okay, so she keep trying to use the blender, but anyways, yeah, safety position. How many safety you think we should grab this class, and who would they be?
Probably one. I want to blend safety and striker together because they want more of a DB type striker. So I think they'll probably take 2, potentially 3 if the right third one wants in. So,
okay, so 2 or 3. And who would they be? Who prospects would you take?
Safety's pretty easy. The Henderson and Kamari Wilson if he wants in. Maybe Marquise Williams.
Okay.
And then striker, it just depends. I think Nick Cole was probably the striker target, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, because it's kind of suspect that he pushed his commitment back from the 30th. So everybody was crystal balling him from Miami. So who knows? Offensive line. We just got Carswell. How many more do you think we take?
As I said earlier, I think we'll probably take 3 and 4 if the right 4th one wants in.
Now, as a class as a whole, how many guys do you think we take total?
18. And if there's more than 18, it's because we've got a lot of the top players we want.
Now, and a big controversial question also: does Miami go back into the transfer portal?
Yes.
If we do, key positions that you think that'll be, and why?
Linebacker, defensive end, linebacker, obviously because we don't, unless somebody really steps up, any position. Miami had a bunch of silence commits that decided to go elsewhere. I don't know who those bunch of silent commits are. There was only one. That was Zane Durant. And again, I don't think it's over. So Miami has no choice to go back in the transfer portal. No, we have a choice. We just do it better than anybody else right now because most players that we get end up getting drafted and doing very well at Miami, including a top first-round draft pick last year. The Luke Rosa winning kicker last year. Another defensive tackle or defensive end that was drafted last year. We're going to have Bubba Bolden that's going to go probably top 2 rounds this year. The list goes on.
Now, Mr. Juxtapose,
Shut your stupid ass up. Say that, folks. Look at
Oh man, he gets that treatment every show. He always come in here talking, and believe it or not, he's a Clemson fan. But
Is he really?
Yeah, he hangs around Miami channels more than Clemson. So I'm kind of thinking he's a closet Miami fan, or maybe some of the guys at Miami. Yeah, he's from what he said, he's a Clemson grad.
That don't mean he's a Clemson fan.
Yeah, he's a Clemson fan. Based on the conversations that I've seen from him. Oh, we got Young Jedi in the building. What's going on, Young Jedi? Man, it's been a long time. We haven't heard from you, man. What's up? What you been up to? So basically, yeah, he's a Clemson fan, but he hangs out in Miami chats and Miami YouTube channels. Because I watch the other guys' channels too, and I'll be seeing him in the comment section just talking mad trash. I'm like, are you sure you're a Clemson fan? Or maybe a closet Miami fan? Or maybe back in the days, because he said he's a Clemson grad from, I think in the 90s, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe some guys from Miami probably, took his girl or something like that. So he's had a vendetta out for us ever since. I don't know. But you think that with Clemson winning and being the program that they are, he would leave Miami alone. But hey, nonetheless, like I said, he's good for business, just terrible at trash talking. Oh man, so pretty much a lot of guys been asking, and I want to hear your take on this. By August 1st, how many commits do you think Miami get? I mean, minus Nick right now.
How many more or total?
Both.
Probably 9 total.
9 total.
Or
Okay.
probably, I think we'll get 4 to 5 more.
All right. So, I don't know if you want to say names.
Not really. I kind of hinted to a few of them.
Yeah.
I let them have their own moments,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's what I kind of do on this channel too. If I'm ever told like a guy is going somewhere or this, that, and the third, until they put it out, I normally don't put it out. And when they do put it out, I wait an hour before I actually say something. You know what I mean? Let them get their shine, let them put it out. Because I've seen Hurricane fans that actually went live and streamed the events of kids actually doing their commitments. And I think that's terrible. Because the shine is not supposed to be on my channel. It's supposed to be on that kid. Especially with NIL right now too. I don't want to be stealing any shine or having anybody watching me while they could be over there watching him, watching whoever's making their commitment. So, I mean, even with breaking news and stuff like that, if somebody tells me something, I never said anything. Like, for instance, the conversation me and you had, and I'm not going to say what it was, but you was like, how do you know? You know what I mean? People tell me things and I'm like, nah, I'm not telling. Nah, I can't say nothing. I can't put it on YouTube. Basically, until it goes public. You know what I mean? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, what we talked about yesterday, basically.
Yeah.
Like, whenever I find out stuff, if it's not something that's meant to be put out or made public, I don't make it public.
Yep.
Oh man, so dang, did the FSU fans take over the chat? What is that?
Always.
Oh man. I mean, well,
I got a few more minutes, so if there's any questions that are relevant that are not, garbage, I'll answer them.
all right. So
I'll answer anything you ask, pretty much. Best of my ability, but
I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and I'm gonna bring in one person at a time. If you want to ask Cole a question on recruiting, you can. But keep it respectful and don't ask anything that we can't put out, even if we knew, basically. But I'm gonna put the link in the chat for you guys. He said, "This is our chat. We taking over." Oh man, FSU. Y'all can take over my chat, but just know we taking over Doak Camp Stadium.
There's no more Doak Campbell Stadium. North.
Yep, pretty much our North Campus. Doak Cam Stable is what I like to call it. All right, so like I said, guys, the link is in the chat. Any recruitment questions that you have, you come on in and ask. Cole will answer that for you. He's more of the expert than I am. I don't know nothing. Oh, man. He said that dude is drunk. Who you talking about?
Yeah. Huh?
You really let FSU take over the chat like that?
They don't go send you change. Why you mean?
So, who you think is going to be, if we do get a commit from one of the top?
Obviously, Florida State fans that are in the chat have never been to Miami, especially Coral Gables, because there's nowhere to put a stadium anywhere closer to the campus. That's not going to require a bus drive anyway, so it does us no good to have a stadium.
Now, for all you Florida State fans that's worrying about if we got a stadium or not, if we beat you at Hard Rock or we beat you in the Orange Bowl, don't we still beat you? I mean, if you think you guys would be quiet after a 52-10 beatdown,
No, they won't. They're living on Bobby Bowden, which was more, respect to him. Hate to hear his problem. Prayers of him for now on. For sure. So, but outside of Bobby Bowden, I mean, Jimbo left because y'all are too broke to freaking buy what he wanted. So, I mean,
yeah, exactly, Bergie. We got a pro stadium. We ain't worrying about stadium. It don't matter if we beat you at a pro stadium or we beat you at the Orange Bowl when it was there. We still beat you.
Florida State fans, if you think Florida State's going to beat Miami this year, hit the like button.
Oh man, I should probably get like 30 dislikes right now.
I didn't say hit the dislike button. I say hit the like button.
Yeah, but Florida State.
If they hit the dislike, they think Miami's going to beat them.
But Florida State fans like to tell the truth, so they're going to hit the dislike button. Because they know they're not beating us. They know damn well they're not beating us. Oh, man. But most of the Florida, I can't say this, most of the Florida State fans that I do have that come through the chat, they are respectful. And they don't go crazy. And, I welcome all of them over here. Just like the Canes page, the Canes versus Noel page.
Well, that's what Howard. We won with Jimmy Johnson. We won with Erickson. Bush Davis. Man,
we've been beating Florida State for so long. That's tough. Like I said, guys, make sure you guys
don't be sending these Florida State fans over there. I'm gonna make them all.
Not Florida State fans. Well, don't they have to have a certain requirement to even get on and do it?
They have to answer some questions, but
most of them gonna lie.
Manny hasn't lost to Florida State, so
yeah. Come to think about it, don't we got the last four different quarterbacks to beat Florida State?
Yeah. Jake Garcia may come in and play Morning King this year after we beat the hell out of him so early. So he may be.
All right. Perfect. Garcia and TVD battle's been going on YouTube. Everybody's starting to pick sides. Which side you're leaning? Which side are you leaning right now, Garcia or TVD?
Both. I mean, either one of them can freaking play. Either one of those two guys could start at a lot of P5 schools. But I would say, I mean, the higher upside is Garcia. But I like both of them. I mean, they both could literally start for most P5 teams.
All right, because a lot of guys, like I said, the fan base is divided. But King just came out basically in the ACC press conference and said that he's 100%. And, fall practice, he's ready to go or whatever. But let's just say, hypothetically, he's not, and you have to start a Garcia or a Tyler Van Dyke versus Alabama. Who are you most confident with, playing that game?
Who? Between
Garcia and Tyler Van Dyke?
Either one. I mean, they're both going to be basically starting against arguably the best returning team in the country. I mean, either one.
Yeah. What's your pros and cons for Garcia? And what's your pros and cons for Tyler Van Dyke?
Pros for TVD. He's bigger, more developed, has more experience at the college level. Knows the playbook probably better. But goes for Garcia. Garcia pushes the ball down the field. He'll take more risk, but he'll probably, he's a little more, probably a little more consistent. And if you're going to beat Bama, you're going to have to score. So you're going to have to push the ball downfield, and you're going to have to score a lot. So he's got a good connection with Rambo and a good connection with Harley and a good connection with Keyshawn Smith. So,
Mommy in the kitchen. Everybody fighting.
So it's kind of like in the middle a little bit between the two. Either one of them. Well, we know either one of them will beat Florida State, but Alabama might be a little different situation. Yeah, that's a tough one right there.
y'all comment in the chat. Say which one was your favorite Florida State Miami game?
Oh man, that should be interesting. Wide left, wide right. 52-10. Wide left again, wide right again. The look on Bobby Bowden's face when he thought he made it. He turned around like, God dang it. Oh man. Shout out to Bobby Bowden, man. We got a $10 donation. Congratulations to the offseason champ, FSU, because I promise you guys, you will be humbled when half your recruits decommit after a horrible year again. Oh man. 72-10. 72-10. I'm changing it from 62 to 72. 72-10, god dang it. Oh man. I appreciate
my favorite, I mean, obviously there's a bunch of classics, but probably my favorite memory was probably the was that 2018? Was that 2018 where Perry came in and came back from the
brought us back to be
I was at the game. I was actually on the Florida State sideline, right behind the players. I think like on the third or fourth row. And their freaking fans were talking so much trash whenever they were up 20-7. And then once the red and white got that first freaking fumble or forced that first fumble, it was over.
Man, they lost their mind. Till today they can't tell you how they lost that game. But appreciate that $10 donation, boss. Appreciate that a lot. That's a touchdown for the channel. So we got some wide left, wide rights. I think that's pretty much it. CJ is agreeing with the Perry game. That's in 2018. All right, so I'm pretty sure you heard news about Texas and Oklahoma possibly trying to join the SEC. If that were to happen, what's your thoughts?
I mean, it's whatever. I mean, I hope they don't do that. I mean, that's two more really big programs that will just make it SEC more money. I mean, they're not in the Southeast. It doesn't make sense, but at this point, it's whatever. If that happens, then we're basically get to the point where we're not really putting together a legitimate conferences anymore. We're going to have the SEC and then everyone else. Right now it's there's Clemson, there's Oregon, there's Oklahoma. There's teams that are in different conferences that can compete with them, but that's going to basically ruin. The conference is going to go away whenever they leave. I mean, there's nothing. Who else do they have whenever they leave? So.
Yeah, I think that basically what we'll see is like a dissolve. That conference will dissolve. I think from what I'm hearing, if that does happen, where they go over to the SEC, then I think we'll probably end up with 4 big conferences. Some of the teams in that conference will probably end up going over to the Pac-12, and some of them will, move around. I'm hearing West Virginia maybe end up ACC along with Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame is in rumored talks to, possibly join the ACC in 2023. So that's something to look at. I think the contract that West Virginia has with the Big Ten, not Big Ten, the Big 12, I think that's going to expire also in 2023. So we might actually see West Virginia come over to the ACC and Notre Dame. But, that's future talk. So I just have one more question for you. Right now we rank in the recruiting at numbers, 75. We're sitting at 5 commits. By the end of, all the recruitments and everything, what's your prediction where we land in the rankings?
I mean, the rankings probably in the 15-ish range, because we're not taking that many players this year. We're going probably in around 15 to probably 15-ish range, because we're only going to take probably 17, 18 kids. I mean, so our average rating is going to probably be about a 90, 91, 92. That's the range they want to be in, which matters more than anything, because that's the quality of players they want to be in. So.
Okay, so we'll probably end up in the top 15, somewhere up in there. That's not a bad class. Seeing that we're only taking maybe around 18 guys, right?
Yeah, I think we'll probably be top 10 in the average rating, but we won't probably be top 10 in the totals, because we're not going to take that many.
Yeah, and one more. Do you think the comment that Manny had about the bake-off, how on a savage level from 1 to 10, what would you rate it? You did the whole
Possibly 11, because it has been tattooed in the back of their brain forever. June Bake-Off boys, and they're never they have truly been so hurt because
Yeah, ever since Manny said that, I think they've lost their mind. What is this? What is this? I think FSU is trying to hack the chat. Oh man, but there you guys have it, man. Cole Perry recruiting. You see on the screen here the Facebook page. Make sure you guys go over there and join. Like I said, everything Miami Hurricane. You'll hear it first. It'll be on there. Great articles, great community. Go join. Trust me. Canes fans only, by the way. All right, Cole. Appreciate you.
Average rating doesn't mean anything. It absolutely does. Average rating matters more than anything, honestly, because that's the quality of players you're getting. You can take a ton of mid kids and have a highly ranked class, but that doesn't mean they're going to be anybody difference makers on your team. I'll take I would rather have 10 kids that are top 50 players than I would, 15 kids that are 3 stars.
Yeah, wasn't Florida State last recruiting class all 2 stars and 3 stars?
They had a few. I mean, Pat Payton's great. Like he's probably the best player they got last year, in my opinion. I think he's going to be a good rush in for them. I mean, you're saying of Florida State. I mean, they're trying to take over the chat, but they're saying about Florida State. But
Yeah, Florida State.
Because it's not signing day, bro. We don't have top 50 players because it's not signing day yet. We do have top 100 players. We're going to have multiple top 100 players within a few days. So,
see, Florida State acting just like Tennessee right now.
Tennessee had a really good class at the beginning of the year last year too. Cody Brown's at Miami now. I can name several others that are no longer there. So
Henry Tutu's gone. A lot of guys are gone. Tennessee lost their whole team. Florida State lost half of their team. And after they go 3-9, they're gonna get decommits, and a lot of them kids gonna want to leave too. Mike Norvell is not the truth. Mid-season, y'all let me know in the chat. Game 6 or Game 7? Which one of them games do they fire Mike Norvell this season?
they won't fire him. They can't afford to hire anybody else. They're stuck with Mike for 6 years, whether he works out or not, which is kind of probably a good thing. Because if he's terrible, at least he can put a little bit of stability back in the program.
Oh man! So basically, they're stuck with Norvell because they ain't got no money.
They're broke. Yeah, they don't have it. They don't have no more money to do that.
I just heard a dollar sign just clicked in my head. I think some more money just got deposited in Willie Taggart's account. Don't they pay him monthly, by the way?
They have to pay him, every year.
Hey, Florida State fans, since there's a lot of y'all in the chat, how much do y'all pay Willie Taggart every month? Do one of y'all know by any chance?
A lot of money. They even pay Willie Taggart's Oregon contract.
Yeah, that's tough. Damn, Willie Taggart got life insurance and everything from Florida State.
He is literally the best negotiator in the history of football, because he is making so much money off of a team that he doesn't coach for. He's making more money coaching at FAU from Florida State than any coach in the country.
Oh man, Florida State. Oh man, Kane's gang said Big Pimpin' Willie.
Yeah, I don't care. You can be a Florida State fan, you can be a Clemson fan, you can be a Miami fan. You have to respect Willie Taggart's freaking bag game. Because ain't nobody out there making the money he's making coaching at a freaking G5 school. He is living it up with gold teeth in Boca Raton, making millions of dollars a year while he doesn't coach for a G5 school.
That is unproven right now. I haven't seen anything to believe that Mike Norvell is a better coach than Willie Taggart. Willie Taggart terrible, but Mike Norvell 3-6 hasn't
I'm
said
not sure Willie Taggart was terrible.
Yeah, well, Jimbo did leave him some mess to clean up.
I mean, I don't think he left him mess. I just think they didn't give him enough time. I mean, say what you want. I mean, it takes time to change a program.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our first season with Manny Diaz, the whole fan base wanted him fired after the 6-7 fiasco.
Yeah, and it was coming. It took a team over there to come from a 7-16. I mean,
yeah. So, I mean, that's Manny Diaz flipping Miami. Putting them on the upside, but I still think Norvell going 3-9. Ain't nothing to change my mind on that. I see 3-9. 3-9. I think they beat UMass, Jacksonville State, which that probably be a close game down to the wire. Other than that, probably Syracuse. They'll probably beat Syracuse. Those are the only 3 teams that I could probably put a little confidence in Florida State. Every other game they can lose. They definitely losing to Florida. They definitely losing to Miami. Definitely losing to Clemson. Definitely losing to Notre Dame. Those four the biggest games they got. So they're definitely losing those.
They're definitely losing to NC State. They're definitely losing to
Oh,
Boston.
North Carolina. Okay. Almost forgot North Carolina.
North Carolina State, yeah.
Said 50-yard indoor facility. That same 50-yard indoor facility was where they practiced to beat y'all 52-10. Come on, guys. Y'all hanging around Mr. Juxtapose too much.
Shut your stupid ass up.
Oh, man. All right. So, like I said, guys, on the screen.
How did we lose to FIU and LA Tech? Because of the offensive coordinator that's in Maryland right now. That's why he was not here but a year.
Yeah, and shout out to Dan Enos, by the way. He's up in Maryland, moving on up the chain again. So if you see, isn't he back to being an offensive coordinator again?
Yeah, he's at Maryland. He's not a bad offensive coordinator, in my opinion. I know that's not like a common Miami thing to say, but he just wasn't right for Miami.
Yeah, definitely wasn't. Long developing plays with an inexperienced offensive line.
He's at Notre Dame, Georgia, Wisconsin, Oregon. He's those kind of offensive coordinators. Big offensive line, like slow, long developing plays. I mean, that's the kind of team he needs to be on. Maryland's probably not a bad one.
Yeah, just imagine we had an offensive line like a Wisconsin.
I just like I told Zoe when Enos was here, he's not good for Miami. But if he would have went to Georgia, he would have a good team. He'd be perfect at Georgia.
Yeah, if he would have what's the word? If he would have adjusted to the O-line situation, he probably still would be here.
But he wasn't here. He wouldn't have been here. He was not a fit.
Yeah, but I'm glad he's gone though, because Reed Lashley, dude's phenomenal.
He was not picked before Enos was fired.
Yeah, a lot of people was what's that other guy?
Ron Gleason, David Yost.
And there was another dude, the Spanish guy. Crap, what's his name? The one with the bad reputation. I know there was another dude that was a prospect, but he had a bad reputation behind him. I can't pinpoint his name now. I'd have to go back and watch the video because I remember him being one of those names being tossed around too. I think it's Rodriguez or something like that.
Rich Rod.
Huh?
Rich Rod.
Yeah. I know his name was being.
You wasn't on my list.
Yeah, but I know he has a bad reputation behind him. I don't think Miami could have used a guy like that.
Miami got who they needed.
Exactly. Now, a question that's tossed around a lot too is how long do we keep this coaching staff together?
What do you mean?
In your opinion, how long do we keep a guy like Reed Lashley? Because if he performed well at Miami, he has head coach potential at other programs. And,
but I mean, Reed Lashley, he's already turned down head coaching jobs. He wants the right head coaching job. You can go be a head coach at the wrong program and never get anywhere. I mean, it happens all the time. He's going to want – I mean, UCF would have been a good one. Obviously, Gus Malzahn went there. He's going to want a very good G5 school, or he's going to want a P5 school. That's where he's going to want to go.
And what about how long do we keep a guy like a T-Rob, especially with defensive coordinating positions out there? I mean, the right school come along, we might lose some of these guys. That's why it's kind of tough to figure out how long we might have these guys.
Well, you can't worry about it. I mean, honestly, that when it comes down to is if you have the right head coach and you want to have the right game plan, the coach doesn't as much matter. I mean, it does. Like, he knows what he wants to run. He knows he wants to run a tempo offense. He knows he wants to run the ball. You know, he knows he wants, defensive backs that play press. He knows that he wants defensive backs that play physical. You know what I'm saying? So that's the kind of guys he wants. So he's going to go get coaches that fit that mold of what he wants.
Okay, so you got a guy also by the name of Dan Mullen. I'm pretty sure you heard of him. Basically, SEC Media Day, he goes and they asked him about the NIL deal with, Miami and top, I think it's American top team.
Robertson isn't even that good. 1 corner in 5 years drafted. Okay.
Mr. Juxtapose.
Shut your stupid ass up.
Literally is one of the most respected. I mean, you got Corey Raymond, you got Wesley McGriff, you got T-Rob, you got Corey Bell. You got about 5 or 6 defensive back coaches that are in that mold of everybody respects them. Every high school coach knows them, and they would send their kids to play for any of those coaches. But keep on.
Yeah, so Dan Mullen with this whole is the NIL deal legal? Basically trying to throw some sarcasm, sneak this at Miami's deal, with, American top team.
I don't know. I just honestly don't. I mean, he's so goofy. I don't know if he actually meant that or he just trying to joke or what. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't really think that still. I mean, I really don't. I mean,
if you watch his interview from the SEC Media Day, if you ever get a chance and for whatever odd reason, if you watch his interview, dude is stumbling. You ever see somebody try to be politically correct, or maybe the school got into his head? Look, you got to stop acting a fool. You got to stop saying stupid stuff in these.
Why he let go of South Carolina with Muschamp? Because the new coach wanted to bring his own staff in. That happens all over the place. I mean, do you really think South Carolina didn't want to keep the guy who got a 3-star drafted as number 1 cornerback last year? Come on, man. Be for real. You guys just say some goofy stuff.
I told you that guy is a goofy. Think about it, Mr. Juxtapose.
He was also a defensive coordinator at South Carolina. He wouldn't have went back to being a DB coach at South Carolina. Miami didn't hire him as a defensive coordinator. We hired him as a DB coach.
I'm telling you, that dude right there, you can't argue with him. He's the biggest troll when it comes to Miami Hurricane football. Everybody's channel. I'm pretty sure he's blocked on probably almost all of them. Now we got BB. He's a Gator fan. What's going on, BB?
Let me finish something.
But yeah, Dan Mullen. That statement where he made about the NIL deal, I kind of think that Florida doesn't really have much going on for them kids up there when it comes to the NIL. And I think Florida State might be on that thin line too, because we did see one of their kids came out on Twitter pretty much begging the school to help him, put his name out there, get some deals. I think the kid got tired of eating ramen noodles. I'm not sure if you saw that.
I saw it, man. I'm not going to hate on him. Man, you just look at the picture of him sitting on the sideline at Miami whenever Miami was dominating him. I feel bad for the kid. He picked the wrong school and he knows it. So,
and the funny part about it, that's the same kid that trolled us.
Oh, I know. Yeah, there's usually a reason behind that.
When Manny told this kid, man, look, y'all come to Miami, or y'all can go other places, and we'll kick your ass. That's literally what happened. The guy was on the sideline with his helmet off, with his shoulder pads up to his chin, basically like a turtle. 52-10. You picked the wrong school, guy. You went up to some coaches that basically ain't gonna develop you. Plain and simple.
Gator meat is trash. Gator meat's good if you know how to cook it.
I went to Gator Shack. It's a spot down here in Loxahatchee, and that was my first time trying gator meat. That shit is good. I don't know what they're talking about. That shit is good. I don't know how they cooked it or whatever, but when I got it, it was fried. It was basically fried gator tail. So
Go back to go back and look at the crystal ball on from Gabby Arrudia on Justin Medlock. It was a 6 earlier.
wait, where is? Oh, I gotta refresh it. Okay, now it's an 8.
So you just gave it?
Dun, 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 dun. Hey, Florida State fans that's watching Miami recruiting, pay attention. We got some kids coming. We're not like Mike Norvell that can take whatever we can. Mike Norvell just sticks his hand into a box full of snakes and just hope he don't get bit. We picking high quality kids, quality over quantity.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm not going to trash any kids, but there's a kid that's a linebacker that's committed to FSU that Miami saw and backed off on. So, and we decided.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Sometimes green lights have to be given. Oh man, it's tough, Florida State. Y'all can say thank you. And Bowman, who's Bowman?
Talking about Bowman that's at Florida that was committed to Clemson. I'm assuming the running back.
Or the running back that transferred?
He's a good player.
Yeah. I mean, ESPN got Florida going 10-2 this season. You think that's realistic?
I don't know. I depends on. I don't think Emory Jones is going to be able to be.
Yeah, I have.
I don't know if Mullins' offense is built to run like a Nick Marshall type offense.
I have no confidence in that guy.
He's not a bad player. He just can't. He's not the best passer. I mean, those kind of players can work if you could be like run like a Gus Malzahn type offense or a Rhett Lashley where they can run the ball a lot of times and then set up the deep balls or whatever. But I just don't think Miami doesn't have high quality commits. You've lost your mind. Amari Rogers is probably the best cover corner in this class. Landon Ibieta, he may be a 3-star. I've asked anybody, any coach around, go listen to what his coach had to say about him, who literally has 2 kids playing beside him. That one's one of the highest rated receivers in this class, and the other one is the Coldest Crawford that's committed to LSU, and they coded him the most. So think what you want.
I want to show you a joke. Let me show you this joke real quick.
Is it FSU?
Yeah. Drag that over here.
That's not a joke. That is factual. That is factual.
Yo, when I was
Miami, I don't care about that one. We already know they're losing that one.
Okay, so when I got to I was making a reaction video to their schedule. So I never looked at their schedule. So I wanted to make it an authentic reaction.
Emory Jones is not even close to De'Aaron King.
So
I like Emory Jones. He's not anywhere close to De'Aaron King. Honestly, Richardson is better than Emory Jones. If you guys had any brain there, he would be starting over Emory Jones. By the way, I'm not going to spoil the beans, but you guys are lucky he's at Florida.
Oh man! So when I saw that prediction right there, I was like, I almost died laughing, man. I had to hold my composure. That shit was too hilarious.
I get it. I mean,
for the FSU fans, do your hammer game. They can't see you. Do your hammer game. They can't see you. Come on.
every chat with the same corny jab. You talking about Florida State jab? They're always saying something.
So you see that ESPN got Miami beating y'all. They think we got 70% chance of beating Florida State, which I think this is not accurate. I think it's more in the 90s, 100 range, but I guess we'll take 70% for now.
No, Anthony Richardson is better. He's a better passer. He can run. He's fast. He's a better player. By the way, his families are.
Who do you think have a better year, Emory Jones or Mackenzie Milton?
I don't know if Mackenzie Milton's going to start Florida State, so I'd probably have to go Emory Jones.
Oh, do you think Jordan Travis is going to start?
I think he'll end up getting the nod. Yeah.
So bringing it. How much years does Milton have eligible?
I think just this year.
Oh man! So if he don't start at Florida State, he pretty much wasted his career, his college career at this moment.
I mean, he already did when he picked Florida State.
Yeah, true.
Daddy, how you take him again?
Huh?
How you take him again?
Do it like you always do it.
Say it. Just say it. Just say it. Hey.
Girl, stop.
I got to get out of here, though. I got to get up early. I got to go to work.
Yeah, I'm about to get off too, man. Pretty much, we covered pretty much everything recruiting wise.
Emory Jones is not even probably the third or fourth best quarterback in the state.
Yeah. All right. So we had a pretty good
Actually, I think he probably would be not even fifth in the state, because I would maybe even sixth. Right now, I would take probably De'Aaron King's number one. It's probably a close. Dylan Gabriel's number two. Number three, N'Kosi Perry. Number four, Jake Garcia. Yeah, man, you're close. You're getting close right there, right around being where Emory Jones, or actually, no, I'd say Anthony Richardson, then Emory Jones.
BB say King is trash. BB.
Shut your stupid ass up.
That's gonna be my favorite one for the year. And then when Florida State fans come and tell us whatever they want to tell us about Florida State, I just be like,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
Mackenzie Milton is not better than all of them. He's a good player if he's healthy, but you got to look at who he's playing around and look who he's playing behind. He doesn't have an offensive line. The talent at UCF was better at all positions on offense when he was at UCF. I mean, he's not – FSU doesn't have the talent around him that UCF had, and definitely doesn't have the offensive line. And when you play teams like Pitt, like Miami, like Clemson, that have defensive lines that's going to literally have him on his back all the time, it's not going to be a good thing for him.
Clemson just became relevant yesterday. I don't know why y'all argue with that guy.
I mean, they're a good team. They get respect right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just real. They get respect right now. I mean, I don't respect their coach anymore, but I mean, I respect the team.
BB say King won't even get drafted. Like,
that doesn't mean he's not a great college quarterback. There's a ton of college quarterbacks that don't do anything in the NFL. That doesn't mean they're not a good college quarterback. He probably will get drafted, but I mean, we'll see. Where he's not going to be a high draft pick.
The Gators would eat their own balls just to get a guy like King.
Emory Jones isn't getting drafted either, though. So.
Yeah, I don't see the hype with Emory. I'm sorry.
He's not that good. Like, I mean, I watch him anytime he comes in. They're running the ball like 90% of the time. Whenever SEC defenses know that, that's not going to work. I mean, what's good is they do have a really good wide receiver room. So, I mean, he's going to have targets to throw to if he does throw. As long as he gets the ball to them, they'll probably make him look good. But, if that's the case, I'd go with Anthony Richardson all day over him.
Clemson fan. I don't know what's worse, Clemson fans or Georgia fans. You guys became relevant yesterday.
Well, I'm going to bed, brother. Y'all take care. Y'all hit the like button, subscribe. Have a good evening. I got to go to bed. So,
all right, boss, take it easy, man.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you for coming through.
Yep. Bye.
All right, you FSU fans. Well, not addressing you FSU fans, but Miami Hurricane fans, make sure you go check out the Facebook page. Make sure you go join. Like I said, all the most recent Miami Hurricane news, everything like that. Make sure you go join that page. It'll be all on there. Oh, man. King is in the first round NFL draft pick. Well, he don't have to get drafted the first round. But I guarantee you Emory Jones ain't no first-round draft pick either. And I guarantee you if you line them up, King, I'll take King over Emory Jones any day. I'm pretty sure any expert will take King over Emory Jones any day. You said the Georgia Bulldogs trash. Yeah, I agree. You got to point them, Michael. They trash. Definitely trash. All right, so anyways, guys, appreciate y'all for coming through tonight. Appreciate you guys for coming through tonight. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you guys go check out the Facebook page. If you haven't already, like the video on the way out and all that good stuff. See you guys on the next show, which maybe Sunday. I might do a Sunday, maybe in a week or two. Definitely not this Sunday, but maybe in like another 2 weeks, we'll get caught up on all the things college football, Texas. Actually, before I go, what's your guys' thoughts on Texas and Oklahoma possibly joining the SEC? I kind of want to get y'all feedback on that. Will that put the SEC on a whole different level than, any other conference? Would that even be fair? Because you think about it, the two biggest powerhouses in the Big 12 were to go over to the SEC. They got a couple powerhouses already, Alabama, LSU, Georgia, every now and then the Florida Gators, I guess. Man, Florida State was trash before Bobby Bowden got there. Facts. Crab legs. Oh, man. Speaking of crab legs, I wonder what he's going to do this season. I mean, Drew Brees retired. Y'all just having the whole fun with Mr. Juxtapose in here and BB. Gator fans sure are delusional. He says F Texas and Oklahoma. Captain Trips, you're a Gator fan, ain't it? I know why you saying F Oklahoma. Because they literally stuck a fork in y'all last season. I mean, that bowl game, straight humiliation. Horrible. They beat the bejesus out y'all. They beat y'all so bad, Dan Mullen just didn't know what to say at the press conference. Well, we played our last game a couple weeks ago. We didn't. Same guy that says after Texas A&M beat them, they had too many fans in the stands. Yeah, they had 25% fans in the stand. Imagine if they had 100. You said them crab legs wasn't there. He winning no Super Bowl. I just seen Tom Brady came down to Tampa and basically won a Super Bowl with the team that Jameis Winston was throwing 30 interceptions with. Dan Mullen is still the best coach in Florida. You sure about that? You can't recruit, I know that much. Definitely can't recruit. Probably send his wife. Yeah, you'll get a lot of kids that way. Miami got beat by Oklahoma's little brother, Mr. Juxtapose. Clemson became relevant yesterday. Remember that, sir. Anyways, man, I'm out. I'm supposed to be out. All right, catch y'all another time. Go Canes. Make sure y'all go to the Facebook page and join Canes fans. And we out.